Hey everybody, Russ, the Millennial Numismatist here, and it is July the 2nd, which means it is time for your summertime bullion report. This is a state of the bullion market as I see it right this second. So let's start off with a little bit of numbers. Right now, gold is at 1910, and remember this is closing on Friday because we're on a long holiday weekend. Gold closed at 1910. Silver closed at 22.45, platinum at 9.05, and palladium at 12.80. So we've seen a sharp decline in metal prices over the last month or so. We almost touched a new high at 20.50 a little while ago, and now we have backslid quite a lot. We've seen the stock market gain some ground, so that's not entirely surprising when you remember that metals really are an inflation or a hedge against inflation. Excuse me. So it's not entirely surprising that we've seen these prices come down, but what is interesting is we've seen premiums come down on a lot of stuff. So right this second is actually a really good time to buy. So what I went ahead and did is I looked at a bunch of distributors that I work with, and I looked at some of their price lists, and these are not secret. You generally just have to be a dealer or register with them to see kind of these prices. So this is not secret information. This is not verboten knowledge, any of that stuff. These are kind of average prices. These are probably a little bit high. But really everybody is within a couple of bucks of everybody else generally. So let's start with some numbers right now. So right now, if I, as a dealer, want to buy gold eagles, 1 ounce gold eagles, 2023s, they're going to cost me 3.7% of the melt cost. Okay, so that means each eagle right now on basis 1910 gold costs me $71. So eagles are still pretty expensive. However, they are less expensive than we've seen them to be. Earlier in the year we were talking prices like, for the retail customer to buy, like almost $200 because they were just so doggone expensive. Moving on, we're going to look at Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs right now are actually a pretty good buy. They are 2.1%, which makes $40. So they really are still one of the best buys for American-ish gold, pure gold. Buffaloes are the same as Eagles, by the way, so that's $71 a piece. So you can't touch Canadian Maple Leafs for quote-unquote American gold. They're cheap. They're still a good option. An interesting one, actually, if you can find anybody that has them, because I haven't found a lot of bullion dealers, local-ish bullion dealers that have them. A lot of the big guys do, obviously. But Britannia's right now. They are the Kings, which are not incredibly popular because it's not a flattering portrait, nor is he a flattering man. But those are at 1.85%, which means they're about $35 a piece, and those are pure. The reverse is handsome, at least, so I think those are a really good buy right now. Looking at a little bit down the road, Krugerrands are always going to be cheap. They're generally going to be cheap. I don't even buy them from distributors because they come across the counter so often. But you can buy those for right around $28 right now as a dealer. So there's those. You've got Philharmonics are a little bit more than Maple Leafs. They're $46 over for dealers right now, so that's not terrible. Again, those are pure. They're a big coin, very, very pretty coin if you've never seen one. And then looking at, usually the cheapest option, which is going to be bars. You can get pure bars depending on the brand, because of course, we are talking branded stuff. The cheapest bars you can get right now are going to be like plus $26 as a dealer. So, I told you guys about dealer pricing. So what you got to remember is these numbers are numbers that I'm giving you that I can call up and call my distributors and pick them up. Okay, so these are my costs. Okay, you guys know I've always been very transparent about the cost of things. I'm making a living. So obviously, yes, I'm not going to be able to sell you Eagles for $75 over spot when they cost me $71 to get. And I'm generally buying them by the roll. So I'm shelling out 20 grand to buy a roll of Eagles. Yeah, I'm going to make like at least 40 or $50 off you guys if I can, because it's the only way I make any little bit of money. So, right now, if you walk into my shop, I'll sell you Eagles for about 110 over. I'll sell you Maples for between 90 and 100, depending on what I have. I don't have any Brits at the moment. Krugerrands, I'm generally right around $80. Phil's, I'm also right around about $100 on. So there's some good buys in gold right now. Like I said, premiums have really been depressed lately. So if you're looking to add to your stack, I really suggest now is a great time to do it. I think, and remember, these are my thoughts and opinions. I don't know. If anybody ever says in this industry that they know what gold is doing or what it's going to do or any of these metals, they're lying because they don't. It's an educated guess. And mine's not even so educated because I don't have any of those fancy degrees or anything like that. I'm just a guy that sells bullion all day, every day. My thoughts is we will see $2,000 gold again by the end of the summer. I don't really doubt that. I think that gold is going to stick around that 1980 to 2020-ish kind of area for the rest of the year. There are some people that are saying $2,200, $2,300 gold by the end of the year, all this crazy stuff. I don't know that we're going to get there. I think if we close the year and we've had a $2,100 gold mark, I think it'll be a good year. But I don't think gold naturally lives in this $1,900 an ounce range anymore. I really think it's going to be the higher 19s, into the twos. So I think right now is a really good time to buy. We talked about the most popular options for gold. And like I said, I think there's some really good options there. I think if you can find a dealer that will sell you Krugerrands on the cheap, that's a really good way to put gold away. They are dirt cheap right now. So I think Krugs are a great option right now. For actual pure gold bullion coins. Obviously, I'll always suggest bars over anything. Right now, especially like if you have more money to put away, the 100-gram bars are a really good option right now. I can get those to you guys, for generally under about $50 an ounce over spot per ounce. So those are a great buy right now if you have, the $7,000 to invest in one. Very, very good price on those right now. I want to move on to silver because silver has also done much of the same. So right now we're at 22.45, which isn't incredibly low for silver. I mean, we're not down to the 18s or anything, thank God. But it is down. So if you're a silver stacker, it's probably a pretty good time to buy silver. And in your case, we have some very interesting stuff going on in the premium market. Eagles have been stupidly expensive for quite a while at this point. We all know that. You guys have heard me say don't buy Eagles, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you bought Eagles when the premiums were huge, if you were paying plus 20 for Eagles, well, they only cost me $8.20 to get from my distributor now. If I get a monster box and I'm going to sell them, I can get about $5 a coin. So if I'm buying them from you, if you walk into my store with a monster box, I'm really going to only be able to pay you like $2.50 over spot, so I can make a little bit of money. I got to cover shipping, I got to cover insurance. So if I make $3 an eagle, that might be worth my time. If not, it might not be worth my time. So that's the problem. However, that means that eagles are a little bit more affordable. I still would not buy them. I don't think they're a good buy. The problem is, I don't know that we're ever going to see cheap eagles again. I really do think that ship has sailed. I think that there's been too much manipulation in the market. I think that the U.S. Mint has done a poor job at their bullion production. And I think these are the kind of prices we're going to keep seeing. I don't think you're ever going to be able to buy an eagle for plus $5. I just don't see it happening. However, there are other options, like I always tell you guys. Right now, Maple Leafs are a really good buy. They cost me $2.75 to get from my distributors right now. A dark horse, a bit of a sleeper when it comes to government silver, and I've been pushing these hard, and I've sold probably about 5,000 of these in the last couple months. Silver Austrian Philharmonics. I can get them for like plus $2 and some change. A coin, which means I can sell them to you guys for like plus $5 a coin, which is what I had been charging for generic rounds for quite a while. So Silver Philharmonics are a tremendous buy if you have to have government silver. If you have to have government silver, Silver Philharmonics, really, really good buy right now. Silver Maples are a good buy too, especially if you can find ones that are a little bit older, maybe not newer ones. You might be able to get a better price on them. But those are two really, really good options for government silver if you have to have government silver. If you don't have to have government silver, which I will still always suggest, you are actually in luck for some pretty good deals right now. So right now, a 1 ounce round. 1 ounce rounds are a little bit expensive for dealers. They're like $1.50 to $2 a piece over. So you can expect to pay somewhere between $4 and $5 depending on where they get them. Really good prices right now on 10-ounce bars. They're about $1.05, $1.25 an ounce over for dealers. So you should be able to get them for around that $4.75, $5 an ounce mark. Um, the real thing that I have seen over the last little bit that is maybe not concerning because this is cyclical. It all moves, but is it is a little concerning, especially if you're heavily invested into it. U.S. 90% constitutional silver right now. The the premiums have really fallen out, and this has been very cyclical. Right now, really, if I went to go and buy, or if I went to go and sell some 90% to one of the biggest distributors in the country right now, their formula currently is the spot price. And this is how, if you guys don't know how 90% is calculated, this is how 90% is calculated. So right now, the spot price of silver that they have listed on their sheet is $22.45. They are plus $1 for dimes and quarters. Okay, so that gives you 23.45. Then what you do is you take that number and you multiply it by 0.715. So that means right now one of the largest distributors in the country is paying. Remember, this is them paying 16, just about 16 and a half times the face value of junk 90. All right, so what that means for your friendly neighborhood dealer is he's got to be either at that price, so say 16, or lower. So what you have to remember is if somebody comes in with a large bag of 90, if they come in with $1,000 bag of 90, I've got to be able to buy that and then get rid of it. And getting rid of it at retail isn't really feasible because a lot of people don't come in to buy 90. So a lot of this 90, it's really shifted between dealers and big investors. So generally, if I get like a big bag of like 90, I'm pretty much getting it out the door as quick as I can. Because you got to remember, $1,000 face value bag. If I do pay 16 times that price, that's 16 grand that I have tied up in that bag of silver. So right now, don't be surprised if you go to your LCS or anywhere else and you see them paying somewhere between 15 and 16 times on junk silver and selling for between 19 and 20 times. If you see anybody selling over that 21 times, there's going to be a better deal out there. If you do find someone paying more than 16 or 17 times, right now that's a pretty good offer because those guys are probably going to be holding it, hoping that premiums go back up. When you run a large operation like we do, we don't always have that luxury because it's about cash flow, right? So what you guys have to remember with this is I know a lot of times there's a disconnect between the dealer and the consumer because, yeah, you have silver and it's worth whatever it's worth, right? We have to understand that we have to make a living too. So don't be surprised right now to see stuff fluctuating between the 15 and 17 times when you're selling. And if you're buying, you're going to pay between 19 and 21 probably. 21 is probably a little high. So that is your current state of the bullion market for the summer. I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to hopefully, what I'd like to do is keep doing this in the future so that, I don't know, maybe once every couple weeks, once a month, we check in and we talk about what's going on in the bullion market and what I'm seeing. Another quick note to kind of share with you guys. I'm not seeing a lot of people coming in and buying individual pieces. A lot of the business I've been doing lately is people that are spending like between 20 grand and a couple $100,000 buying a lot of gold. Obviously, you have the onesie twosies that come in and buy, a 10th ounce or whatever. But it seems like a lot of people are putting away big amounts of gold. I don't know what that means. I'm surprised we haven't seen more people buying smaller pieces. And I'm also very surprised that I wasn't mobbed on Friday with gold, going down so sharply. It's kind of counterintuitive. We've seen a lot of people holding on and not buying. I think it's a great idea to hold on, obviously. But I think right now, if you can buy, you should buy because metals are cheap right now. That's all for today, guys. Drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.